Hello. Hello and welcome to BISP Solutions. So we are going to resume our QuickBook desktop discussions. So we have already done two sessions previously. I hope that you understand what I did explain in the previous sessions, and I hope that you are going to understand that I will try my best to give more explanation about new topics on this QuickBook desktop discussions. Okay, so now our first topic of the session is the vendor. So we are going to do two topics today: the vendor, that is the vendor and the customer. Now I am going to explain you what is vendor. Here first I will give you the explanation about the vendor, then we will do some activities related to vendor, then after we will go to our next topic, that is the customer, and we will do the activity to customer, and we will try to do some transactions. So we are going to do some transactions, like we are going to create if we get a time. So without wasting any time, we move forward. So our first topic is the vendor. What is vendor? Vendors are basically the people or companies that we owe money to, or subcontracts that work for us. It in a simple terms we can say that the vendors are known as suppliers. We can suppliers from whom, suppose is from whom we took the goods to resell them, or they are a supplier of giving a particular product to us. So okay, so supplier means supply can be that we are buying goods or any product from one agency, that is a supplier, and we will reselling it. So that is the supplier. In service cases we don't have any service supplier. Okay, so supplier is basically related to when we are dealing in the dealing in the goods. Okay, so supplier and vendor, we are going to use the word vendor, we are going to use word the supplier. These are the two same thing here. Vendor and supplier is also a accounts payable. We are going to discuss what is accounts payable when we are going to do some transactions. So accounts payable is like we are owe money to someone else, as we do in the regular business. If I can use the word accounts payable, a simple word is a creditors. Okay, so this is basically like a creditors. So how we are going to create the vendors, and what are the vendor center and related to its features, we are going to see in this session. So without wasting our time, we are going to move forward. So we perform these activities. Okay, so before performing these activities, I will navigate you where you will find the vendor options in a QuickBook desktop. Okay, so here we are doing work in SweetShoot Private Limited already. So I open up this company, as I already told you how to open the existing company. So now from the main menu you will see the option vendors. This is the option of vendors. Here you will, when you click on the vendors option, you will be able to see the list of the vendors, that what is vendor center, what is bill tracker, enter bills and payables. We are going to see most probably tomorrow, or most probably next sessions, or most probably now at the end of a lecture. Okay, so we are moving forward to the vendor center. Here on the vendor center we create a vendor. we provide a vendor. So how we will create the vendor and what is the use of vendor center, we are going to see. On clicking on the vendor center, you will see, remember this window, because when you are going to use the employee options and the customer options, you will be able to see this window is similar, with a little bit changes here. The most three important basic things related to you can say that in a human part, the three part, that is the vendor part, that is the customer part, and the employees part. These are the three pillars where a business or stand. Okay, because from the vendors we are receiving goods, to the customer we are selling our goods or services, and to the employees who are working to an organization. So these are the basic, so these are the three most important part of an organization. So we are going to cover this vendor and the customer. The employees we will do later on. So here you will see the vendor information. When you open the vendor center, you are able to see this all the information. New vendor, when you click here, new vendor, add multiple vendors, here new transactions, that is the transactions related to a particular vendor. So we are going to discuss about this. We are going to discuss about these all menus and options when we add some vendor. Here, when you are going to add vendor, you will be able to see on the left hand side the list of your all vendors. When you click on the all vendors options, you will be able to see all vendors, that is actives or inactives. If you want to see only active vendors, you will click on active vendors. If you want to see only inactive vendors, you will click on inactive vendors. Or you want to view only specific vendors, you will click on customer filter, and it will open up this options, and you can add up on your custom. Okay, so now how are we going to create the vendors? So suppose first we are going to click on here. When you open up this window, it will give you two options, the new vendor option and the multiple vendor options. When you are going to click on new vendor, you will going to add only one particular vendor. When you are going to click on add multiple vendors, it will open up a different window. So it is like a spreadsheet. Here, if you want to add multiple vendors and you don't want to waste your time by adding one vendor at a time, you should make an Excel sheet according to this customization columns, and you can easily cut and paste it from here. Okay, there is only one there is another option, the importing option. We are going to discuss later if we get a time, because it is an advanced feature. So now I am going to add one vendor, new vendor. We are going to add this 4 vendors. We can use it one vendors, but I am going to use these 4 vendors because we are going to use more often. So suppose I am adding 2 vendors right now only. Okay, suppose, so we have a very less time, so I am going to add 2 vendors only. First vendor name is John Stones. Okay, so now if you are migrating your data from another software into QuickBooks software, so it will ask you that it is having an opening balance. If you are migrating your data, you can write up your balance, whether you don't have to write whether it is a debit balance, whether it is a credit balance, because it is a vendor. Of course it will going to be your credit balance. So you will write an opening balance. As of right now, we have a date of 26th of March 2024. Suppose you are migrating data in some other date, you can just add, you are migrating the data in some other date, but you are using the balance, that the closing balance of previous software, and using the opening balance here. So you just have to write that date of your closing balance of your previous software. Okay, now here you should write a name here. So I am going to record every option here and will explain you every option. So here it is related to address information, related to your company name or of your vendor. You can add any one of the options. Okay, so the name, oh shit, sorry. Okay, so Loyalty Enterprises. Okay, first name is of John. Stones. Job title, you can give the job title. If you want to give the job title, that is a job title is like what is the job, that is he is a manager or he is a suppose assistant or whatever it is, so you can write it here. So now open main phone. Here when you will see this list here, these are the only 8 options. If you want to add more options, you just click on the drop down list and you will be using these options. What options you are available, you can record it as per your requirements. Now suppose I'm just adding quickly add the transactions. Okay, here the email is, these are all the imaginary details and names. There is nothing related to any particular person. Okay, after writing of this, you can write it your work phone number, main phone, different CC email, that you have any more email, and if you're having any website you can use it, other etc, any other information you want. And other than this, you want to give another phone number, another email, on another thing, you just click on the drop down list, and as per your requirement you can click on this. Okay, now you are going to write your address. So remember, suppose a vendor is having a billing address is different and shipping address is different, so you have to give both the address if particular vendor's address is different. So right now I am just giving the same address. So we cannot you have to give the full address. So I want to just give copy here. Here it is copied. Okay, I click on OK and you can able to see that here is it is already copied. Okay, so this is the basic of address information. Now if you are going to see the payment settings, now here we are going to use the payment setting. Suppose you want to suppose the vendor gave you its account number, so you can directly deposit into its account number. So you are going to use that account number and you will type it. Right now I am going to leave it this here on the credit limit, and now you want to give certain credit limit. It is not your credit, it is your credit limit given by your vendor. Suppose the vendor is gave you the credit limit of $50,000. Here we are not going to use any currency feature, I am just going through the numbers. Suppose the credit limit is gave you by the 50,000. So okay, I will use the dollar. Okay, $50,000. So whenever you are going to buy something more than $50,000, it will pop up that you already have reached your credit limit. So now payment terms. Payment term is, we all know that if you pay the particular vendor within 10 days of after the invoice, it will give you certain amount of discount. It is related to discount or payment terms, otherwise that. So I'm just going to give 1%, 10, net 30. So print name on check is, if you want to change, suppose the vendor don't want the check to be issued on its firm's name, it wants to issued on Johnstone, so you can change it here. Now the other thing is of tax settings. Tax setting, that if you want to give a unique number to your vendor, you can just go through with this. So you just give the tax ID number to him. Okay, right now we are not going to give because it will take a lot time here, just leave it. Now account setting here, you can just set your account, that is tell us which expense account to prefill when you enter the bill for this vendor. So if you want that suppose this Johnstone is a particular vendor of delivery expenses, so you just predefine here that this vendor is of delivery expense. So whenever you are going to choose the delivery expenses, it is automatically click on Johnstone, but we are not going to this because we should blank it. We have not going to define it. It will, like, suppose a telephone example, suppose you are having a Airtel network, so you will define the Airtel, it is related to telephone or internet billing expenses. So whenever you are entering bill, you click on the telephone expenses, so the vendors, the creation of a vendor will automatically create it. Okay, here is the additional information related to add vendor type. What is the vendor? It is the vendor is consultant, is the vendor is supplier or a wholesaler or retailer or a tax agency. You just write, you just record the vendor type here. Okay, so now what is here on the below left down here, vendor is inactive. Suppose, as I already told you, in QB desktop or in QB desktop, if you are having a balance, if you are having a nil balance but it has certain transactions, the QB was not allowed you to delete the vendor or anything here. You have to make the particular accounts your item list in an active. So you should click on this box and the vendor will go in an active account and it will not show you on your vendor in center list. So just click on OK, and here you created your one vendor. So now I'm going to create the other vendor quickly. I should click on the add multiple vendors. So it basically it will cover as well. Okay, so now it will cover quickly. So okay, so our next vendor is Stephen Minks. Okay, his firm name is Philosopher Trading. First name is Stephen, second name is Mix. Its phone number is 830-785451. No fax. If I just made a spelling mistake, you should ignore it and move forward. Here again we are using its credit limit at 45,000 and net of you select 1% and net off here. So now you just have created these two vendors. Okay, just go quickly, we just click we just move and click and create. So we have two more vendors we are going to create later when we are going to use the vendors. Okay, so right now we just save and click and save and changes. So okay, it shows you that one vendor record has been saved. You click on OK and you just close it and you will be able to see that your two vendors has been created. Now here what is the option is this is options. It is basically the transactions you are going to perform, like suppose you are issuing any bill, paying any payment to this. It is the contact. If you want to manage any contact here, you just click on add new and move forward. To do's about a particular vendor, you just click on a particular vendor and just give that a to do's options. Here you're going to use the notes options. notes options, you move forward and give any particular note of a particular vendor, and you just click on send email. And you want to email any transactions, any report to your vendor, you just click on manage email and just go it. I'm going to show you about the notes. If you want to make a note, you just click on add new. Now here I'm going to create a Stephen mix a note. So philosopher trading, he is suppose he is allergic of, he is fear of emergency pop-up. So you are just making a note, because whenever you are pop-up when you are creating a pop-up to a particular to this vendor, he is got fear about what is the pop-up comes up. So he is basically afraid of voice. So you date and stamp, and it will show you like the date and stamp that on 26th of March 2024 at 4:23 p.m. you have selected this, you have added this in note to this particular vendor. Okay, you have an options new to do, you can just new to do about this option. And if you want to take out the print of this this thing, and you can print it, and you just click on OK. And now you are able to see, when you click on John Stones, there is no notes. When you are clicking on Stephen mix, you will be able to see this options. Okay, so this is how the vendor is created. So now we move we have two more examples. We will if you want to take a screenshot, you can take it and you can add the remaining two vendors. So now we move forward. To a new topic. Next topic is customers. Now, as I already told you, there is a three important part in the QB. The first is vendor, we have completed. Now the next is customers. What is customers? Customer is an individual or business who buys a products or services, or to whom we resell the items from a business. Customer is consumers, you can say consumer. And we also known as accounts receivables. In simple terms, account receivable, or more simple terms, you will go to a financial thing, accounting, we can call them debtors. Okay, because we are going to receive amount from them. So we are this is better. So I am going to navigate you to the how to create the customer in the QuickBook. Okay, so now this we are going to perform. We are going to add two examples, but we are not going to fully add, we will just add the names. So we are going to perform some transactions, so we have a very less time, so we move forward. Okay, now you will see the customers from the main menu. You will able to see the customer from main menu. Here, when you click, you will be able to see that you have more options than vendors. Here is the customer center, create estimates. Suppose you are going to create estimates to a particular customer, so you can create estimates here. You want to create the sell order, you can create sell order here first. If you want to create invoices, we are going to discuss that now, or maybe now. Okay, create batch invoices. If you want to create batch invoices to a particular customer or more than one customer, you can create it. So this is the related list of your customers. You can enter sales receipt, you can enter the statement charges, create a statement, assess finance charges. All are the, you have an options of receive payments. Receive payment is what, when you are issued invoice but you haven't got the payment at that time, you can issue enter sell receipt. So we are going to discuss many features here. Now we move forward, how to add the customers. So from the customer center, when you click customer center, now here you are able to see that the information of the vendor center and the information of customer information is same. What is the difference here? Now here, what is the difference? You will see that on the add job, on the customer on the vendor On the vendor information, you are not able to see the job. Here you are able to see the job of a customer, but we will add the job. Here you, any other option, you will see that transaction, contacts, to do's, notes, send email, new customer, new transaction, our options. This print, Excel, Word and income tracker I am going to explain after adding the customer, because it is same as vendors. So we will cover after the creation of the customer. Now here, this all the information is same as we discussed on the customer vendor part. Now we are going to add customers. So quickly we are going to add our customers. So now when we add a new customer or add multiple customer jobs, as I have already told you, okay, when you click on new customer, now you will see these options same as vendor option. So basically the information is putting a same, little bit different. What is the difference? I am going to show you right now. Here the first difference I show you there in the main box, that it will have a add a job, and here is not the in the vendor information there is no. So we are going to create a first customer. So our first customer is Fairy Minx. Same here, if you are having a accounts receivable of bill balance of this particular customer, you should add, of course, the bill is related to unpaid invoice. So you just add it here and move forward. Write the date of the closing balance. So we will add the company name. The company name and the customer name must be different. In some cases the customer name and company name is same, but most of the cases you are going to use different name, because it will define more things. Okay, so the job title, of course you can write it, the job title as we discussed there. Write the phone number, it is same, it is similar to your vendors information. So quickly we are going to create, I am going to create two customer fully, so I can explain you better. Otherwise I have to create all, because still related to. Again we are going here, invoice, bill to and ship to. Here we have discussed on the vendor option, there is a bill to ship to option. Here is also invoice or bill to. If you want to create invoice but you want your product, if the customer wants the product to shipped someone else, somewhere else, but he wants to issue the bill or somewhere place, here we are not going to use the same just copy paste it. Here you can add it new and click on OK. Okay, and click and just go to the payment setting. Now here, this is the difference I was telling you. On the payment setting of a vendor, you are not going to see the credit card information, but you will be using the credit card information here. Why you are seeing this? Because when customer pays you through the credit card, you have to give the details of a customer credit card, so you are receiving the payment from there. And if he is paying you from the online payments options on credit card or a bank transfer, ACH, that is mostly used in the US. If you want to give the account number, you can give the account number, and you just give the, suppose you are going to give credit of 25,000 to your customer. Okay, same as you are going to give 1% 10 net 30 payment terms to him. preferred delivery method. Delivery method is related to whatever delivery you are going to give them. And what is the preferred method? Again here it is a cash option. Suppose we are going to use the MasterCard, Visa, you can put it here and give the information below. So this is the this is the difference between the vendor and the customer center. So sales tax settings, here you can see sales resale number, we are use the vendor tax detail there. Additional information you want to give, customer type. What is the customer type? Is he's having a retailer, or if you are, suppose you are having a business of wholesaler, you can create the wholesaler, and if you are having a retailer, you can create a retailer. And job information, you can describe it, the job information option to him. So now we just click on OK, and you will be able to see that we created your first customer. Now we are going to use another customer. So quickly we are going to add 4 customer, because we are going to use some activity. Okay, so quickly so this is like a one-time setup. If you create, if you just do the one-time setup, you will be able, you don't have to go through more, you just have to edit the information which is changed in future. Okay, give him the payment terms. Payment terms is of 55 and what are the sorry, credit limit, and what are the payment terms? We are giving him payment terms of 1% and not. Okay, we just create the 2 more, just quickly create 1 more. We are not going to give more information. Sal Caro, just giving enough information to him. Quickly we are going to give here, just quickly, because we why I'm going to I'm adding these, because we are going to have some transaction exercise, so this all information is going to come. That's why I have to write it all. We are just creating 4 customers only. We will add later many, you can add more. I hope you are going to I hope you are understanding what I am explaining here. Just quickly give him the credit limit of just any number we can provide him. Now here we changed it here. Just now we are going to add the last customer. Okay, you will understand why I'm just adding this all. Again, payment credit limit of 40,000 and payment terms of 2. Okay, so now we have created a 4 customer. Okay, so here you can see that contacts, to dos, notes, sent email. You are able to see that whatever you are putting recording of a particular customer, you will be able to see just like the vendor information. Now the most the common, I was explaining you this about the print. Suppose I'm going to explain this for the vendor's perspective also and from the customer's perspective also. You be able to see the both information is same here. Just simultaneously we will, okay, if you click on print option of here, you'll able to see this. Okay, if you are the vendor, you can see here these are the two common options. You can print your customer vendor list or customer vendor information, customer vendor transaction list if you want to take out the print and you are maintaining a physical file. Just like Excel, this is the export import option. You can export it from here, the customer list or export transaction of a customer. You can do same as to the vendor also. To the word here, if you want to prepare letter, you can just create a letter to a particular vendor or particular customer, and here, and it is here, this is the customer center of income tax tracker. Okay, so this is a customer and a vendor creations. And so now we are going to do some exercise. So we are going to create a first invoice. So congratulations, you are going to create your first invoice in the QB. That is the how to record the invoice. So a first example is invoice. So invoice is basically that you are going to create invoice on account. You are not receiving any payment from the customer at the time of creating this invoice. So basically you are getting the payment in later days. So we are going to create the so before that I am going to show you how to create invoice and from where you will find the options. So on the main menu, I told you that on customer list you are going to create your first invoice. So here are the invoice options. You can click Ctrl+I for the shortcut key to open up quickly if you are not using the if you are not using this on the customize icon bar. Click on create invoice and you will be able to see. First we are going to use more invoice options, so we have to go and just memorize it on the icon bar. As we all know how to customize the icon bar, click on the options on the view option. While opening this, just customize icon bar, give the separator 1 or 2 separator or 3 separator and click on OK, and then just give view and add invoice. Okay, just create. So whenever we are going to open the invoice, we are going to create invoice, you just click in here rather than we are going to dig in inside. So here, and now this is the invoice window. You are able to see this invoice window. Here you will see it is like an Excel option. So here you can see the ribbon. You can create new, save your invoice as an invoice or as a PDF. You want to take out the print quickly, so you can just click on here the delete if you want to delete your invoice, if you want to create your copy of an invoice, if you want to memorize it. Suppose you are going to change the features in this invoice transaction, so you can memorize it. So whenever you are going to create a particular invoice of a particular customer, you will be able to see this. Okay, here mark is pending, that invoice we are going to see how here print, like suppose if you want to print packing slip, shipping label as an envelope, you will just print as you want. If you want to email the invoice, you can email it. Here it is print letter, email letter, attach file. Suppose you want to attach any file here, you just create here and you can attach it the file here from here. Here add time and cost, of course receive payments if you want to receive any payments, and suppose. Okay, so what happens when we record the invoice? When we know we record any transactions, suppose like an invoice in the QB desktop, will this when it will automatically record that transaction in the proper account. Suppose customer account is going on a account receivable options, and simultaneously it will record on a particular service, that is the income or a product account. Suppose I am going to give any services. Okay, ठीक है, in the COA, like chart of accounts, it will automatically record in the chart of accounts. So, and of course chart of account is ledger, and the balance of a ledger is always go to a friendly statement, that is trial balance. Okay, so after recording this, we are going to see how the trial balance will get affected and how will COA will get the effects. Okay, so it is a larger part. It may take time, it may take more time, so we will continue tomorrow after recording some invoices. It is basically a long topic of a vendor and invoice, so we are just going to create invoices. Okay, so now a first example. Okay, so here you will able to see the name and transactions. When you will click the customer drop down list, you are able to see about the summary of your customer, the customer payment, if it is you receive or not, the recent transactions you performed of the customer, like it will show you the balance and it is a note. And here save and close and 7 new, I already told you, if you save and close, it will close the window. At 7 new, it will remain, it make you remain on this window. And if customer message will pop up that all work is complete, if you want to give that any note you want to give, you can give it, and here is the memo. So now we move forward to a first invoice. What? On January 1, we provide video services to Miss Fairy Wings on account for 10 hours. We use the word on account. It means that we are going to create an invoice. If we are not going to receive on account and it is related to that the amount you will receive, we will enter this particular transaction into the sale receipt account. We are going to understand how the sale receipt created. First, we are going to create this account, this transactions. So the customer is Miss Fairy Wings. So when you click Miss Fairy Wings, all the information of Miss Fairy Wings you just created on the customer center is pop up. Here the summary about the opening balance, credit limits, or etc etc. Here transaction we haven't provided in transactions. Here customer payment, you can recent transactions. So on 1st January we will going to change the date. The date I would suggest you change the date from the calendar view, not from the handwriting. So click on one invoice number, it will automatically take up and move forward and write on the item. What item he is providing? He is providing video services. So as soon you click on the video services, video shoot income services, we have already created this. So all we just created this, it will pop up or down here. So you just create, he spent quantities at hours here. Right now we just gave quantity, just remember this quantity. And when you click on the tab button, you just know that we are going to give invoice to Miss Fairy Wings of video service of $2,500. Just save and close. Right, we are going to save and close. And now we are going, I'm going to okay. So what will be the effect I am telling to the trial balance? So you are going to see the trial balance. We will open the trial balance now. So you see here, we have created the invoice here on account receivable option. You will able to see that 2,500 account receivable is been debited, the balance is increased. When we will receive the payment, the account receivable account will decrease, and a new account bank we have created will increase. So this is how the invoice will do. Okay, so now and you can see the video income is also increased to 2,500. Okay, so now what else? We are going to perform two more activities before we are going to close, or maybe we will move forward. So our second example is on January 2, we provide editing service to Miss Jennifer Gomez for 6 hours on accounts. So again we just click on invoice, and when you click on invoice, you are able to see that it will automatically provide you the sequence number as a continuation 1. Okay, so change the date on 2nd January. Sorry, first you are going to write Jennifer Gomez. So you will be able to see the information I told you here. Okay, just going, we are providing him editing services on 6 create tab, now $900. And before we move forward, we just click save and new, and what, we will remain here. Okay, so we will remain here, and the invoice number will is changed. Why? Because we have already saved the second invoice. This is basically the invoice number, the invoice you are creating. Whenever you are just giving a state tax or some other tax and you want to give the invoice details, you are able to give details on a particular invoice number. Moving forward, I'll show you on the trial balance. Here you will see account receivable amount is increased to $900, and the new account editing income is the balance has been created. Okay, so now we are just perform three more invoices. Okay, so it will show you more. Okay, again, on January 3, we provide editing services of 5 hours and video services of 4 hours to Mr. Sal Caro on account. Okay, just click here. Now here we are giving one invoice to one customer. Okay, and we provide editing services also and video services also here. Okay, we provide editing services of 5 hours and we provide video services of 4 hours. So my main aim to show you this, you can create one invoice of a customer and you can just brought it down the item list, whether you provide the services, whether you provide the products. You just give one invoice and add the items more and more and more. Okay, so my main aim here is to show you that you can create one invoice and one invoice, more items, one invoice, or more invoices or more items. It is like that, but on a different date. Okay, just 7 new, we just record 2 more on January 4 to Miss Fairy Wings. Again we are creating a Miss Fairy Wings. What we are providing, we providing him editing services of 8 hours. We will again 7 new. Now I am showing you the thing. Now as soon as I click the Fairy Wings, you are able to see that the opening balance on the right hand side, you will see the customer, the balance of $3,700. It is basically showing that the balance of Fairy Wings is 3,700, that this particular customer is still owe us to us, so he is going to pay us more. And what you are seeing on the recent transaction, it will show you the recent transaction that you created on 1st January. You created invoice of 2,500. On 4th of January you created the invoice of 1,200. I am going to show you after the payment what it will show you. Okay, so now, but we are moving the fifth invoice. Okay, sorry, I just forgot how invoices we created. We created 4th invoices. Now last invoices of January 5th we provide to Miss Jennifer. Okay, just click on Jennifer, give the date on 5th of January. As you can see, all the right hand it is loading, so just click and we provide video, sorry, for 3 hours. Okay, we have created 7, close. Now on the trial balance you are going to see, so you will able to see that our account receivable account is debited to $7,100 and our editing income amount is credited to $850 and the video is for $250. So when we are going to receive the payment, the editing income and video income balance will not be disturbed, but the account receivable balance is disturbed. So the accounts receivable balance will go down and the cash balance is go up. So this is how it is done. Okay, before that, the payment receiving the payment from payment receiving from the so the so this is how the receivable created. So before we move forward to the customer payment receive, it will take a lot of time. So I am going to continue this on the next session. We are going to understand about the vendors also, because in the customer receive payment, it will go, I am going to show you how the customer records the unpaid bills, the customer balance detail show you. So it will take a lot time, so I'm just going to end this topic right now, and I hope that I able to make you explain in today's topic. And I hope that you understand the today's topic, that how to create the vendor, how to create the customer, and how to record the invoice. So we will continue tomorrow from here. Okay, so thank you for joining the session, and goodbye.